Hello everybody and welcome back to my garage, Zero to Hero. Alright, so here's a brand new week, and obviously you guys can see we did make an offer on Hugo's house, and yeah, we actually moved in over the weekend. So yeah, I was just getting settled in, and yeah, everything is basically sorted out for now. So I think we are ready to start this new week with a couple of new jobs we need to go and finish off. Not really new jobs, but existing jobs we need to finish off. So yeah, over here in our garage, we have got our pickup truck at the moment, because as you guys know, Hugo is using our 69 Impala at the moment. So yeah, we are going to head back to the shop. We still have this empty crate box that Hugo left behind. I just want to take it over to the shop, because there's no point in keeping it around the house. So yeah, let me get my pickup truck here fired up, and we're just gonna pull it out. Right, let me just get the door closed up again. There we go. Alright, so we are all set and ready to head over to our shop and see what other projects and work we need to get done today. So yeah, let's head back to the shop and I'll show you guys what is cooking. Alright, and we are back at our shop. So let's just get the garage door open here. So yeah, we've got a couple of things that I would like to get done today. So I'm not too sure exactly what I'm going to do with all of these empty crates, because we don't really build engines as such. I might actually send this crate back to Groomies, because we're not really using it for anything. And I think we've got the broken inline 4 engine in this one that actually came out of Hugo's daughter's car. So yeah, that one is being used, but yeah, we'll see what we are going to figure out. But yes, on the agenda for today, we need to get our courtesy vehicle over here, the 1967 Chevy Impala, put back together. So we've got all of the engine parts here. Hopefully everything is going to be here, and we're going to be able to get this thing up and running. Because I actually need to use this car today, because we have got another customer vehicle that is coming in. And obviously we need to go and drop off the courtesy vehicle for them to use. So this is going to be a very good test for this car to see if it's going to handle that type of pressure. Over here on the outside, we've got Hugo's BMW E36. We need to get this thing put back together as well today. So we also have got some parts that we need to paint. So what I have done is I have painted some of the parts already yesterday, like the bumper and 2 door mirrors that we need to install. And we also got rid of the rust on this quarter panel over here, and yeah, just sorted that out and painted it up again. So yeah, everything is gonna hopefully come together nicely for us today on this car. We also got the new interior door panel that we were missing on the left door, so that is going to be replaced. And then as you can see, I already assembled the suspension. I did this on Saturday already. So yeah, I didn't go as far as putting it into the vehicle just yet. So yeah, I've been quite a bit busy over the weekend with the move and all that. So you'll also be pleased to know that they did finish up the carport. So the carport is also sorted. And then yeah, we've got our new project vehicle that belongs to us. This is actually from Hugo. It's the part of the payment for the work we are doing to the BMW E36. Hugo said he will send us a bit of money if ever he gets his first salary from his new job over in the middle town. So yeah, we have got a new project we can start working on maybe further down the line. I did manage to slap on some wheels at the back, because this car was missing all of its wheels. And then our trusty old Ram truck is now also parked under the carport, so it's not going to be getting any major sun and stuff on it, which is always a good thing. So yeah, what I think we're going to start with is spray painting these body panels, because I would really like to have them start drying up so that we can get them fitted to the car. So I think this is what we're going to do, is we're going to tackle these parts and just paint them in the correct color, same as the rest of the car. So let's cue some music and get this sorted out. Alright, so it looks like we had enough paint in the paint canister left to do all of these parts. So yeah, I actually bought this paint tin for no reason, but that is okay. We will probably find a use for it further down the line. Maybe one day we will find a project that we just want to spray paint a different color quickly, so then we can use that paint. So with the parts now busy drying up over here, we can start putting the other parts back together on this thing. So I think what we're going to start with is the suspension, obviously. So for that we're going to need our welding machine first of all, because we need to weld the front cross member back into place, because that has been cut off with the plasma cutter. Right, so I think if I put the welding machine over here, it should be good. Alright, so let's get this front bumper bar also mounted while we are here with our welding machine. And we'll just get this welded into place. There should be 2 welds we need to do over here. And 1 on that side. Perfect. So that is that. And let's get our cross member fitted. Alright, so that should stay put for now. And we're just going to come and secure it with the welding machine. And just like that. So that is sorted. And let's just put that back onto the welding machine. And we're going to get this out of the way because we're going to be moving around the car a lot now. Alright, so next up we are going to need our toolbox once again. So let's grab this. I'm just going to bring this a bit closer because I've got no idea what parts I'm going to need and what I'm not going to need. So let's grab our wrench first of all. So we do need to mount some of these suspension parts, like the brake hoses needs to be tightened down as well. And everything on the rear suspension has been replaced with new parts. Some of them were still good, so we did go ahead and reuse them. So I think what we need to do still is the front shock absorbers, obviously. So let's get these bolted down. Alright, and we've got a bolt at the top, and same story with the opposite side. Let's just put that in there. And over there, perfect, so that is good. Right, so on the front suspension, I don't think there's anything else we need to do still, but I do want to grab this radiator hose and get this mounted onto the radiator over here. And there's our upper hose as well. So we'll just grab these 2 hoses and get them onto the radiator quickly. Nice and easy. Just like that. So the radiator is basically ready to go into the car now. Yeah, we're obviously going to have to mount that front panel first for that. So we're going to have to wait with the radiator for now. Alright, so let's carry on with the rear suspension. So we'll get this into position like that. And we've got a couple of bolts to do on this rear subframe. Right, over there as well. Over there, and the last one is there. And let's not forget our brake hoses. Very important. Alright, and then let's come over here. We're just going to grab the shock absorber for the rear. So I think we are still using one of the old ones. Alright, so let's just get that zip down over there. Just got to see where this bolt is for this shock absorber over here. Alright, so there it is. It's actually a nut on it. And then I'll just grab the other one. So this is still the old shock absorber we took off the car. So it's still in good condition, so we'll be able to reuse it. Alright, let's just bolt it down over there. And there's the lower bolt as well. Alright, so now let's quickly grab our spring compressor. Oh, there's the toolbox all the way over here. Because we've got these springs that came off Richard's car. We are going to install them. They are still in very good condition. So, yeah, there's no harm in using them. And let's just sort this bumper out before it gets scratched. Alright, we'll just put it like that. Alright, so let's get these 2 springs mounted as well. One on this side. And the other one on this side. So that is looking very good. Alright, so we are now done with the spring compressor. So let's grab our wrench again, because I think it's now time for the wheels and tires to go on the car. I did get some wheel spacers as well. So we'll actually just start here on this corner. So I think these wheel spacers will give us the very nice offset we are looking for. Alright, so let's get this first wheel bolted down, and we'll grab the hubcap. And we'll just pop the hubcap on, and then just going to repeat the process for all 4 the wheels. Alright, so all the wheels and tires have been mounted, and I think they actually look pretty good on the car with those spacers that we chose to go with. So I think it's safe to probably start mounting some accessories to this car as far as it can go. We've got a couple of pieces of trim. So these are the side skirts that came off Richard's car as well. So we do have got this missing trim that the car was missing as well. So that can go back on. And I think it's also safe to put on the trim for the left quarter panel. Right, so which one is that? Right, so this is for the window. Oh, that is our window. That's our piece of trim. So let's pop this onto there. And let's just see. Hopefully this didn't break now because it went flying off the table. Alright, so let's see what else we can get fitted. That is for the door. That is for the fender. Alright, so we can grab this rear left window. We can get that put back into place over there. And we'll also grab the rear window. We can also get this put back into the car, just like that. Alright, and then I think let's tackle the taillight quickly. But I do want to swap out all of the bulbs. So I did notice some of the bulbs are a bit broken on this car, or worn. So let's just see if we can get these bulbs out. Might have to mount the taillight first. I think that's going to be the case. So let's get this mounted, and then we'll swap out the bulbs in it. Alright, so there are 3 screws on the taillight. We're just going to screw them back down. And there we go. So the taillight is now nice and secure. And let's just put our screwdriver down here for now. And we're going to just bring a set of light bulbs closer to the back. Alright, so this is going to be a little bit of a tedious job, but yeah, it's something we got to do. So let's get cracking. Alright, so we've got 3 new light bulbs on that taillight. So let's maybe also do the other one, which we didn't take off. Alright, so we've got all the light bulbs replaced, and I think all of the taillights should at least work on this car now. So we've got everything installed that we needed to. We still have 1 light bulb in this box, which I actually want to put into the blinker of the left blinker, because we've got a new blinker for this headlight. And the one on the old headlight, I don't know if it's got a good bulb on it. We go ahead and just pop it off. And that bulb isn't too bad, but we've got some new ones over here. So let's just grab some new bulbs for this as well. Alright, so let's put that one in there. And that should be good. Alright, so I think these parts, maybe the bumper can go on. So let's put the bumper back on. Alright, so let's crouch under here, and we're just going to bolt the bumper down just like this. And while we are under here, let's get our drive shaft into position once again. And yeah, the car's a bit low, so let's just go up a little bit. Right, so now we can get under here. We're just going to bolt down the drive shaft. Alright, so let's also do the ones on the transmission. Very good. That is looking very fresh. And I think, yeah, we don't have any more suspension problems on this car. Alright, so there she is, back on her own 4 wheels. And I must say, now that we've got the matching hubcaps, it's going to definitely give this car the proper look it needs. So what we can do now is we can loosen the handbrake. Obviously it is loose because we replaced the whole handbrake cable and all that. Just going to push it back slightly. And just make sure it doesn't roll off the hill too much. There we go. We can just leave it here. Alright, so now I think to get the radiator mounted, we'll have to see if we can get the radiator support fitted. Alright, so let's try and handle this carefully, because the paint isn't 100% dry yet, but we'll just be very careful with it. Alright, so now we're going to grab the welding machine. Alright, so we've got our welder. Alright, so let's quickly see where this needs to be welded into place. I think it's just on the edges. And there should also be some welds down here probably. So let's see if we can get to those without smudging the paint. Alright, and over to this side. And there we go. So that is the radiator support back into place. Right, so the reason why we managed to do or wanted to do that now is to get our radiator fitted, which I threw it over here. Right, so there's our radiator. Let's pop this back in. And there we go. So the radiator's back in, and yeah, the engine should still have oil. So we just need to top up the coolant quickly and also mount the battery. So let's grab our battery here. Alright, so the battery is back in. Let's just bolt it down. Perfect. So we've got everything else sorted out. I did check the wires as well over the weekend. They are still very decent. So I'm just making sure everything is nicely bolted down. Right, so there's our engine mount. And we'll just go around this side and also bolt it down there. And there we go. So I think that is everything now. This car should actually fire up. We just need to quickly top up all of the fluids. Alright, so the coolant is topped off, and I did check the oil. Let's just double check the oil again. Yes, that is good. The brake fluid seems to be very decent. So yeah, we've got basically everything sorted out now in order to try and fire this thing up. Just want to check if this radiator support plastic will go in now. I think it should pop in. There we go. Right, so that is one step closer to completion. We just need to see if the headlights wants to go in as well. I think they should by now. Right, so there's our headlight for the right hand side. And let's just bolt it down over here. And we'll also grab the other headlight. And let's just zip that down as well. Alright, so it's definitely not complete yet. We still got a lot of things to finalize this car. I think that fuel line is not supposed to be on this car. Alright, so that's just a spare one we've got laying around. Alright, but we are now good to try and fire this thing up. I just want to make sure everything is still good on it. And it does. So yeah, we can actually drive this car again. And it shouldn't overheat. We obviously don't have a door yet. So we'll get the door mounted once it's dried properly. So let's pull this car just here for now. And there we go. We know at least it's running again. Alright, so even the brakes are very good. And I think that this car is going to be much more reliable for Hugo to start using it soon. So I think it's going to definitely look good once all the body panels are back on and everything is sorted out. So I think while we wait for the parts to dry a bit more, we are going to grab the toolbox all the way over there. Right, so we're going to start putting our 67 Impala's engine back together. There's definitely a lot of work to be done to this engine. And yeah, we need to make a little bit of haste here because we need to use this car as well in order to go and collect our customer vehicle. Right, so let's get our crankshaft into place. And just going to bolt all of these bolts down. Alright, then we've got some new pistons. So yeah, I decided to replace all of the pistons. So we've got 6 brand new pistons for this engine. So we're just going to make sure we get all of them bolted down. And that we don't skip any of the bolts. Especially on the pistons, because that is the quickest way you will blow your engine is if your piston comes loose. Right, so we've got that one. And we got the next one for number 2. And let's do the first one, or piston number 1 lastly. And there we go. So that is our pistons sorted. Alright, so oil pan next. We're going to bolt down the oil pan. Alright, so next up, let's quickly do the flywheel. because the flywheel is where the clutch and everything needs to go on. And it's a little bit crammed up in this space over here, so we'll just sort that out. And then we've got our clutch plate. We'll just pop it on there for now. And where's our clutch pressure plate? Right, so it's back there. Let's just grab that. All right, and let's just be sure to bolt it all down. Just gonna flip it around a bit. And let's spin it the other way as well. All right, perfect. So I think we are good to start working on the top end of this engine. So we did get a head gasket. I'm not sure where the head gasket is now, because it's supposed to be here. There it is. All right, so let's pop the head gasket on here. All right, then we'll get our cylinder head. A brand new performance cylinder head, I think. I'm not sure if this is actually a performance cylinder head. It might be, but it's not really very important, because we're not trying to build a very fast engine. We're just trying to build a reliable engine. And let's get the valve cover on that. Alright, so I decided to go with the chromed valve cover. The engine block was actually painted in the same color as the car, as you can see. So that is gonna hopefully look nice in our engine bay. Right, so I think next up we're gonna start with the timing parts. So let's pop the camshaft back in. And then we need to grab our camshaft sprocket over here. And there we go. So that is bolted down. The crankshaft sprocket actually just slides over the crankshaft just like that. And then we'll grab the timing chain, which is... yeah, it's a little bit of a mess on this table. I'm not sure if we actually got the timing chain. I may have forgotten to order that. So that'll be a little bit of a bummer, because then we cannot really put this engine back together. So I'm going to have to obviously go and grab a timing chain. I didn't put anything on this table, so now we'll have to go and grab a timing chain quickly. Unless if it just fell behind here somewhere, but yeah, it doesn't look like it. Alright, so off to Little Lewis's we go, and just grab a timing chain. Alright, so we are back, and yeah, I think I've got the timing chain that we need. So it turns out I never placed the order for this, so yeah, that was a bit of a silly move of me. Alright, so now we can continue with our installation of parts on this engine. So we've got the timing cover next, after the timing chain is now fitted. So let's just bolt this down, and just like that, so that is good. We're going to grab the pulley over here, and let's just put that on. And next up we're going to start with the, I think let's put the little parts on, the smaller parts. So we've got our fuel line, a fuel pump rather. So this needs to go over here. There we go. Alright, and then you can probably get the water pump fitted as well over there. So there should be 5 bolts on this. Let's just see. Alright, the 5th one is probably right over there. So we've got that sorted. Alright, so next up let's grab our thermostat housing. This obviously goes on our cylinder head over there. We're just going to zip it down. Alright, perfect. So that is sorted. Radiator hose. Yeah, let's actually just do the radiator hose quickly. Alright, so that is sorted. And now we can do our intake. But I think let's quickly assemble the intake. First of all, we're going to put the carburetor on. There's another small part. Let's just get this mounted first. Alright, so the ignition coil goes over there. And I just noticed we haven't even installed the oil filter yet, so that is very important. So let's put that back on. And then we'll grab the distributor. Alright, and we'll quickly just zip that down as well. Alright, so let's continue with our intake over here. Alright, so we'll get our air filter base on. Let's grab the old air filter we've got over here. And there we go, we've got our air filter lid. Alright, so our intake is now assembled. We should be able to get it on over here. And let's just bolt it down before it decides to drop off. Right, and there's one more bolt over there. I think we can just spin this thing like that for now for our exhaust manifold. Right, so these few bolts on the exhaust manifold. There we go, those are bolted down, looking very sharp. Right, so the next part, I think we can just do the alternator. And we've got a bolt over there and over there. And then let's grab our alternator belt. Put that onto there. That is looking very good. And now we've only got spark plugs left. So let's drop the spark plugs right here on top of the engine. Alright, let's get those four installed. Alright, and we're going to grab two more from this box. So obviously this is an inline 6 and there's only 4 spark plugs in a box. Alright, so we've got some spare spark plugs. It's going to be laying around, but that's okay. Alright, spark plug wrench. Let's just grab this. We're going to zip all of these down. Perfect, so our spark plugs are mounted. And the last piece of the puzzle would be this spark plug leads. And that is sorted, so our inline 6 engine is now fully assembled. So before we drop the engine in, let's grab our radiator over here. We're just going to bolt the radiator down again. Alright, and let's come over to this side. And there we go, that is looking very good. Alright, let's grab our engine. Alright, so there's the engine. We're just going to bolt the engine down and we're going to get the wires mounted again. Alright, so time for the wires. Alright, so there's a wire bolt over there for the ground. We've got the alternator bolt. Wire for the alternator, obviously. The starter we cannot bolt down yet. And there's no ground bolt or anything like that on this car. It just slides onto there. And then we're going to grab our battery. And we're just going to bolt down the battery. Just like that. Next up is the fuel line. Right, so there's the fuel line. Let's just zip it down over there. That is looking very good. So we've got everything basically installed in the engine bay. Let's quickly grab the hood outside. I just put it here against the wall so we can work on the engine a bit easier. Right, so let's get our hood back into place. And we've got 2 bolts on each side. And let's go around this side. Alright, and those 2 bolts tightened down. So we've got our car nearly assembled, and I just started kicking all of the bottles around. So those are actually the coolant and oil that we need to put in. Alright, so now that the car is back up onto the lift, we are going to get the new transmission, which is actually this one over here. No, that's the 4-speed. There it is, that's the 5-speed gearbox with the brand new starter mounted. So we are just going to bolt it down to our drive shaft. And I think that is basically everything we can reach for now. Let's just grab our exhaust. And let's bolt down this exhaust. That is looking very good. So let's lower this thing back down again. Alright, so now that the car is lowered back down, we're just going to bolt up the transmission bolts over here. And let's just bolt them down on this side as well. And there we go. So that is our inline 6 engine completely rebuilt. And we've got definitely just a much better looking engine in this engine bay than what we started off with. So I'm quite happy with the way that came out. So now all that's left for me to do is coolant and oil. Brake fluid is still good. I did check that as well over the weekend, so we are good to go. So let's just top up all of these fluids and see if this thing wants to fire up again. Alright, so there we go. We've got oil, we've got coolant, and I think this thing is ready to be fired up again. So let's just quickly pull the lift arms out from under the car, and then we should be actually good to drive this thing off and, yeah, take this thing over to our customer. Alright, so we're going to have to just push it forward a bit. And let's just see if we try and fire this beast up now, if she actually runs and still drives. Right, so she fires up, no problem. And yeah, she definitely moves under her own power. Goes into reverse. Brakes feel good. Alright, so yeah, I don't know if we're going to be able to squeeze through here. Alright, so there we go. Our 1967 Chevy Impala is now finally complete. It has been quite a bit of a journey getting this car to where it is now. And I'm sure this vehicle is going to serve us very well and very long. So the engine is definitely looking a little bit better, and it does feel like it's got a little bit more power already, although I didn't really drive the car as much yet. We'll definitely test it out a bit when we take it over to our next customer's house. So, but I think before we do that, we've got to probably try and do a little bit more work to this BMW, because I want to try and finish this thing off for Hugo as soon as possible as well. Because I want to get my 1967 Impala back, or 1969 Impala back. So yeah, we've got two Impalas now, a 67 and a 69. So I'm getting a little bit confused between the two. But I think these parts, yeah, they seem to be good, so we can get them fitted back onto the car. So let's grab our fender, and we're just gonna bolt it down over there, and over there, and also there. Alright, so let's grab our hood. Right, and let's just bolt the hood down as well. Alright, so obviously the paint is still a little bit soft, so we might have to just be careful with this. Alright, but let's grab the little logo that needs to go onto the hood. I did get a new one because the old one was a bit banged up in the accident. So there we go, the BMW logo is back. And now we're going to grab our driver's side door. Alright, so there's the door back into position. We just need to get all of these bolts bolted down on these hinges. Alright, and I see we did miss a little bit of paint on that door, so we can quickly get that touched up with the spray paint compressor here. It's going to be just this little part over there. And let's just do that piece over there. We'll just check it around the bottom, and would you look at that? So the paint can is actually empty now. So it's a very good thing that we actually did buy two of these cans. So let's just get the new one installed. Alright, so let's try this again. We're just gonna kneel down over here. Just do a little bit of a touch up on the paint there. Nothing serious, but that is sorted now. Alright, so the only things that we have left are just the basic touch-up pieces. So we've got this window winder. We need to just screw that down, because that actually uses a screwdriver. It doesn't have bolts on it. So we've got the two screws at the top. No, wait a second. There's one at the bottom. There's one over there. And there should be a third screw somewhere. I just can't recall where exactly the screw is. Might see it a bit better from the top over here. And there it is. Alright, perfect. So that is sorted. And now let's grab this door cover. Right, so there's the door cover. We'll just screw that down like that. There we go. So that is interior sorted basically. But we need to open the doors to get those mirrors mounted. So we've got our left mirror. Let's just put that into place and screw it down. Let's grab the other one as well for the passenger side. And there we go, that is sorted. So everything is back into position on the interior as well. So let's just quickly pop the hood, because we need to get this grill fitted. We can actually grab the plastic part and just pop it into the actual grill here. And then we'll just take this carefully, because the paint is still fresh. And there we go, so that is our grill mounted. So we've got these tiny little screws over here that we need to just zip down right over there. And there's another one back here somewhere. There we go. Right, let's do these two on this side as well. Alright, so there we go. So that is basically Hugo's car sorted. We've just got a couple of pieces of trim here. One for the front left fender. Right, so let's snap that onto there. And one on the driver's side door. Just grab that as well. Perfect, that is looking very good. And I'm actually pleased to say that Hugo's car is now officially completed. I didn't expect to finish this project as quickly as we did. I see the hood is got a, yeah, it's got a little bit of splotches here and there from the paint. We might have to actually just buff this a bit before we take this over to Hugo. See if we can get that sorted out for him. But I think it's now good for us to get this vehicle out of our way. So I think if we just pull it around to the opposite side of the ramp truck, park it in the sun where it's going to get dry nicely in the sun. And then, yeah, we'll see what we can do with that hood and just sort that paintwork out, do a little bit of paint correction. Alright, so we are just going to clean up a little bit before we head off over to our customer vehicle to go and pick up our customer vehicle, obviously. Right, so we've got the broken headlight bulbs, or yeah, well, taillight bulbs. Just going to pop them down on the table. We'll dispose of those a bit later on. And we obviously need to take our tools inside, because we are going to be heading out. And yeah, we've got a little bit of a drive. So let's just make sure everything is nice and inside the shop. That's an empty bottle. We can just leave that there for now. Let's just grab our toolbox as well. Just going to put this on the table over there. And then we will also grab our spray paint compressor. Right, we'll just put it here in the corner. And let's close up shop. And yeah, now the moment of truth. Is our 1967 Chevy Impala going to be reliable? So I think we're going to take this thing on a little bit of a maiden voyage. Right, so let's get it fired up over here. And undo the handbrake, and yeah, let's be off. Alright, so we are here at our new customer's house, and yeah, you guys may remember this house from back in the day when we bought Grandma's Mercedes wagon. So this is the very same guy. His name is TC, and this is in fact the vehicle in question that we need to do some work on for him. So what happened was Eric told his friend TC about me doing work on his Charger for him, and it was like a kind of a finder's, fee that I had to pay Eric for this. But yes, we do have got quite a bit of work to do to this thing. As you can see, we do have got a little bit of a damage to the roof over here, which we need to actually replace with a normal roof, because he doesn't want the vinyl roof on it anymore. But I'm just going to go and knock on the door and find some more finer details about this build and what he would like to have done to it. So let's quickly go and knock on the door and see if he is at home. Alright, so here we are back, and yeah, we had a little bit of a conversation about the work we need to do to this vehicle for TC, and yeah, it's going to be quite a bit of a project actually. So he actually wants this thing to be completely resprayed, and we also need to customize a couple of pieces for him. So he wants a two-tone, well, not really a two-tone, but all of the chrome trim on this car needs to be turned into like a chrome ruby red. As far as wheels and tires, he left that up to me to decide what we're going to use on this car. But yes, the bodywork also is going to be repainted in a, yeah, I think like a silver color. And then, yeah, obviously the ruby red will be all of the accents, chrome, and all that is going to be changed. So this is very similar to the build we did for Spartan. So we are going to have to try and figure out how we're going to do all of that. So I might have to send some of the parts in for this special ruby red chrome work that he wants to have done on the car. So that is definitely going to be quite a bit of a chore, and we obviously need to strip everything down because the floor pans and all that needs to be coated in this ruby red as well. So we've got definitely quite a bit of a project going on here, and yeah, fortunately for us, he's got quite a good budget as well. So his budget is 100,000 bucks, which is a lot of money, but believe me when I say that this is going to be a lot of work. So I've left the keys to the 67 Impala for TC so he can use this car for the time being while we are working on his 68 Dodge Charger. So yeah, this is just a matter of jumping into this thing, getting it all fired up, and yeah, making it back to our shop. I see we are a bit low on gas. Hopefully we don't run out. So I'm just going to go ahead and make a U-turn here, and we're going to head back the way we came. And yeah, hopefully we don't run out of gas, otherwise I'm gonna have to probably take a walk and go and fetch a jerry can of fuel. So yeah, let's get going. Alright, so we are back at our shop with TC's 1968 Dodge Charger, and yeah, I must say actually the car handles very well. There doesn't seem to be any problems with suspension. Even the engine sounds very good and runs very well. So we might have to yeah, probably do a whole engine replacement as well for him. So I heard something about a 350 cubic inch engine that he wants in this thing. So yeah, he will definitely send me all of the details on that engine build as well. So yeah, I'm pretty sure it's going to be a whole custom engine. So this is probably going to come out, and the engine actually looks brand new in this. Let's just see. Yeah, we haven't really checked the oil before starting this thing up, but it's a little bit low on oil as well. Radiator, let's just see if there's any coolant issues. Yeah, it seems about normal. There's a little bit of coolant missing. But yeah, in terms of mechanical stuff, there's nothing really wrong with the car. We just need to get the bodywork sorted out, because obviously the car has rolled over slightly, and that managed to crack the windscreen, which I must say is a bit hard to see through once you get into the car and start driving it. But yeah, I think the first step for this car would be a proper clean, because there's definitely a whole lot of dust on it now. So that is going to probably reveal the real color. Alright, so let's have a look at that. Yeah, it looks like it's a very dark green. So yeah, that's going to be a huge transformation, painting this thing silver. And yeah, from a dark color like this to a light color, it's definitely quite a bit of a change. So let's just get this thing cleaned up a bit. And while I'm doing this, I think it's also going to be a wrap for the episode, guys. So thank you very much for watching. I do appreciate every view, every like. And also remember, if you have not yet subscribed to the channel, please consider doing so. I will appreciate it very much. But yes, until the next time, cheerio.